Let's try that again. Welcome everybody to Intensity Broadcasting. My name is Josh Hall. This is the Doghouse Racing League's Tuesday night Gen 4 series, brought to you by Trackside NASCAR Outlet. Getting ready for race number 7 here from Richmond International Raceway, or Richmond Speedway. See, at the top of the leaderboards, no surprise there, Jonathan Jennings says he loves this track, and he's showing exactly why. Currently the fastest car on the speedway. Ken Byers, though, sits back in second. Jamie Horn third. Christopher Simon and Adam Thompson, your top 5. Currently on the speed charts, as we see Jonathan Jennings working on some slower traffic. Getting ready to do that here tonight in the race. We're going to see lots of that during this short track action. Let's take a look at our standings coming in. And Jonathan Jennings jumps up to the top of the leaderboard. Chuck Sweeting sits back in second. He lost a spot not being here last week. Jamie Horn sits back in third. Christopher Simon and Brent McCoy are your top 5. Justin McMahon sits back in 6th. Christopher Leftwich in 7th. Steve Gerber, Shane Parrish, and Mark Dumont, your top 10. I'll leave this on the screen so you can see where your favorite driver is currently in the point standings, as we are just about halfway through the season. And it is going to be a great one for the rest of the way. See, again, tonight is race number 7. Next week we'll move on to Atlanta, and that'll be the halfway point before we get the second half of the race season underway. A bunch of big tracks. You see Auto Club, Talladega, Charlotte, Michigan, Kansas, Nashville Super Speedway to round out the season. Another short track with Phoenix. Dover kind of races like a short track, so it's going to be a great one here tonight. We're looking forward to the rest of the season. So we have just about a minute left here in practice. Again, we want to thank everybody for joining us here tonight. Whether you're watching over on Facebook, on YouTube, on Kick, or Twitch, we do appreciate you tuning in here tonight for the MARRS 100 here from Richmond Raceway. Of course, tonight's racing is brought to you by Trackside NASCAR Outlet. Trackside NASCAR Outlet's an authorized Lionel dealer with a full line of diecast, including Cup, Xfinity, trucks, driver apparel, hats, and jackets. Trackside NASCAR Outlet offers everything NASCAR, from flags to mini helmets and full-size helmets and coolers. Stop by and check out their store, follow them on Facebook, or check out their website at tracksidenascaroutlet.com. Also, tonight's race is brought to you by MARRS Properties. MARRS Properties offers vacation house getaways in North Carolina within an hour from the ocean. Call 817-705-4108 and speak with Shane directly about your North Carolina getaway. As the checker flag falls here on practice, we're going to see where my error is, because I am missing logos up on my screen here. There's Mike Dumont getting his way, or I'm sorry, Mike Leftwich getting his way out onto the racetrack. One of the first drivers to make their way out onto the racetrack. Ken Byers also out on the racetrack, coming to the green flag. Jonathan Jennings just took the green flag on his first of 2 laps. Jennings currently up at the top of the leaderboard as he rockets down the backstretch on his second lap. Across the stripe, Jonathan Jennings is going to be your fastest driver for the moment. See if he's able to hold on to that top spot. Oh, the 4 of Bill Gentry gets got down into the inside wall. It's going to hurt his qualifying attempt. Here's the 24 of Justin McMahon coming off of turn number 4. Oh, he loses it into the corner, so that is going to he's going to have to reset and try to do that all over again. Here's the 00 of Jason Ross. Ooh, Ross gets a little loose there coming down the backstretch. Sounds like he's going to cut that qualifying attempts short, as here is the 23 of John Smith just coming off of turn number 4. Coming to the stripe to take the green flag, or sorry, the white flag on his qualifying attempt. We get that all fixed up here on our end. Now we've got all our logos up there like we should. John Smith coming currently 4th quickest on the speed chart. So he was able to improve his time here coming down into turn number 3. Oh, gets loose there off of turn 4. That is not going to be a faster time. That's Eric Warman, one of the last drivers to qualify. Still have a couple drivers left to qualify. Chuck Cobb still has to qualify. Ricky Hudges, Matthew Escala. Jamie Horn also has not put out a qualifying attempt, nor has Adam Weichel. So a couple drivers still left to qualify here. See Warman come down across the stripe. Ooh, catches the outside wall. That's going to disallow his lap time. So he's able to do here coming down the backstretch and into turn number 3. And he's going to pull it down to the inside. And again, a few drivers left to qualify. We have Matthew Escala, Ricky Hudges, Jamie Horn, Adam Weichel, Chuck Cobb. All yet to make a qualifying attempt. Again, we want to thank everybody tuning in with us live, or if you're watching after the fact, we do appreciate you tuning in as well. Don't forget that like button, follow, and subscribe. Hit that little notification bell so you know anytime we go live here on Intensity Broadcasting. Of course, don't forget to check out our great partners listed down below. You've got Trackside NASCAR Outlet, your series sponsor, MARRS Properties listed down there as well. Don't forget to check out the Doghouse Racing League's website as well, where you can find all your stats, standings, and news right at doghouseracingligue.com. Again, links down below in the description. Of course, our great partner over at ButtKicker. ButtKicker is a well-known and established leader in gaming haptics. The award-winning line of ButtKicker products lets users feel low-frequency sounds. Their products are used and endorsed around the world by leading PC and console gamers, including professional sim racers. Check out the full line of ButtKicker products and figure it's right for you by visiting thebuttkicker.com. And that is going to do it for us here in qualifying. As we get ready to take a look at our starting grid. And starting on pole tonight is the 25 of Jonathan Jennings. Chris Leftwich in the 13 will roll off in position number 2. Christopher Simon and John Smith in row number 2, followed by Kent Byers and Adam Thompson in row number 3. The 8 of Steve Gerber will roll off from the 7th position with Stephen Bonomo to his outside in 8th. And then the 14 of Mark Dumont to the inside with Mike Leftwich in the 60 on the outside of row number 5. Guillermo rolls off from the 11th position with Kevin Brown in the 12th spot. 13th will be Richard Leclerc, with the 4 of Bill Gentry to his outside, and then Michael Dow and Eric Warman make up row number 8. Row 9 will be Justin McMahon and Jamie Horn, followed by Ricky Hudges and Matthew Escralia. Jason Ross, Chuck Cobb, and Adam Weichel make up the rest of the field here tonight from Richmond Speedway. We'll take a look at the track info here real quick. See that D-shaped oval, very unique shape. 1 and 2, shape totally different than 3 and 4. Start-finish line not in the center of the tri-oval like most people think it is. It's a little bit sooner. So it's going to make things a little bit interesting here tonight. We see the weather here, 67 degrees. Pretty high humidity at 68%. To make the air very thick. Track length just under 3/4 of a mile. I'll take a look at the rest of the track info here in just 1 second. The drivers are rolling. You see that 67% or 67 temperature on the air, 68 degrees on the track. So nice, cool track for these drivers here tonight. It's exactly what these drivers want, is a nice, cool track. As the field makes their way down the backstretch, we're getting ready for 100 laps here from Richmond International Raceway. Stage break, not stage break, but stage at lap number 50. Pace car is going to go 2 laps here tonight. We've seen a lot of clean racing the last few weeks, though this is a short track. Richmond's a very, very difficult track to get around. You see the how flat it gets here off of turn number 2. That and coming off of turn number 4, it can be trouble spots. So watch for that tonight as they make their way off of the corners here. Especially if they're running side by side. We might even see a little bit of 3-wide racing here as the pace car dips down on the pit road with that hard left-hand turn. Green flag flies. We are racing, and a great jump for Jennings, but Chris Leftwich able to stay right there with them as they make their way down into turn number 1 for the first time. John Smith up on the high side as they come off the corner. We see the 99 of Ken Byers down on the low side as they make their way down into turn number 3. And Jonathan Jennings is going to lead lap number 1. Further back, we see, oh, some contact. Gary Mio into the outside wall. That's Kevin Brown with the contact as well. That's going to bring out our first caution on lap number 2. That's going to be our first wreckage rewind of the night, as we take a look to see exactly what happened between these two here. Kevin Brown up off the corner. Now it looks like I don't think Amia know that the 7 knew that Kevin Brown was sitting there right on the outside there. The two of them made heavy contact. Fortunately, doesn't look like too much damage for either driver where they won't be able to continue on. Of course, the Doghouse Racing League does not run resets. So any damage accrued during the race, these drivers will have to go in and try to get this car fixed up if they can. Looks like neither driver thinks they have enough damage to go in to get damage fixed. So when we cross the line next time by, we'll have 1 to go. And next time by, we will there you go. Jonathan Jennings is going to choose the outside lane here as they make their way down onto the backstretch. Looks like the lights on the pace car are still on, so we'll wait for them to turn off when they cross the line at this time by. There we go. Lights are off on the pace car as we get ready to go back. Green flag racing. Again, Jonathan Jennings, your control car. He will be up on the outside, putting Chris Leftwich on the low side here. Chris Simon, John Smith in row number 2. Ken Byers, Adam Thompson, row number 3. Steve Gerber, Stephen Bonomo back in row 4, and then Mike Leftwich and Mark Dumont round out row number 5. As the field makes their way off of turn number 4, pace car down onto pit road, into the Geico restart zone. Green flag flies. We are back racing here at Richmond. Another great jump for Jonathan Jennings as they dive down into turn number 1. Chris Leftwich, though, able to stay right there with him. As Steve Gerber makes his way around Stephen Bonomo up into the 7th position. Further back, Jamie Horn showed some speed in practice as the caution flies. Yet again, it looks like it is for the 22. Sorry, that is the 00 of Jason Ross. That's going to bring up another wreckage rewind here. Looks like he might have had a little bit of help here, too, down into the corner. See, he's already a little bit loose coming down into the corner. And the 175, as Ricky Hudges comes up into the 00. Turns him right around there. Anybody else able to take evasive actions there? Fortunately, just the single car. Doesn't look like he hit anything, so he should be good to go. As the pace car comes across the line, it looks like we'll have 2 laps to go before we go back green flag racing. Again, we want to thank everybody for joining us. We want to thank our great partners here, including your series sponsor, Trackside NASCAR Outlet, which is an authorized Lionel Racing dealer with a full line of diecast, including cup, Xfinity truck, driver apparel, hats and jackets. Trackside NASCAR Outlet offers everything NASCAR, including full and mini helmets, flags, and coolers. Stop by and check out their store, follow them on Facebook, or check out their website at tracksidenascaroutlet.com. Another great partner here in the Doghouse Racing League is Group 6. Rev up your brand's potential with Group 6 at every turn of the Doghouse season. As your creative marketing powerhouse, we're here to fuel your success, accelerate your impact, and steer your brand towards victory. Group 6, where every race is an opportunity to outshine and outperform. Discover more at group6inc.com. Of course, tonight's race is brought to you by MARRS Properties. MARRS Properties offers vacation house getaways in North Carolina within an hour from the ocean. Call 817-705-4108 and speak with Shane directly about your North Carolina getaway. Of course, don't forget to check out our great partners, including the Butt Kicker. Butt Kicker is a well-known and established leader in gaming haptics. The award-winning line of Butt Kicker products lets users feel low-frequency sounds. Their products are used and endorsed around the world by leading PC and console gamers. Check out the full line of Butt Kicker products and figure out what's right for you by visiting thebuttkicker.com. Of course, don't forget to check out our website as well over at intensityracing.com. If you're a small-time race team looking for some swag, get a quote today over at intensityracing.com. We also got Atlee Atman-Weiss' racing gear. He's going to be going back racing here in 2 weeks down in Langley, Virginia. So if you want to support him, check out Intensity Racing there as well. Pick up some swag, support the team. We do appreciate you. And lots of other things there. We've got novelty t-shirts as well. So check it all out, intensityracing.com. The lights are off on the pace car. It'll be dipping down on the pit road this time by. Jonathan Jennings, again, your control car up on the high side. As the pace car takes that hard left-hand turn, down on the pit road. Jennings leads them down to the Geico restart zone. Green flag back in the air. We are racing. Big checkup in the back. We saw that happening out of the corner of our eye as they come down into turn number 1. Justin McMahon almost ran into the back of Jamie Horn. Meanwhile, we've got a battle here as Christopher Simon getting challenged on the outside by John Smith. And here comes Simon back on the low side as they come down the front stretch and into turn number 1. Off of turn number 2 as they come down the backstretch. Neither driver want to yield that position. Smith holding tight on the high side. Simon, though, fighting hard on the inside as they go down into turn number 1. These two racing side by side. They are burning their tires off pretty quickly. As now here comes Adam Thompson. Thought about making a move down to the inside. Now tucks back in behind John Smith. Meanwhile, up front, Jonathan Jennings has a mirror full of Christopher Leftwich, who is not letting go of that back bumper. So they make their way off of turn number 2. And at the moment, these two running pretty identical times. Actually, last time by, Chris Leftwich ran the fastest lap of the race with a 22:04. That time by, Jennings ran a 22:05. So you see just how close these lap times are between these two. You see Jamie Horn stalking the 60 of Mike Leftwich. It's down into the inside into turn number 3. Not quite close enough to make that move stick. So he hangs there on the back bumper of the 60. Right along here with Mike Leftwich. So here comes Jamie Horn right down to the inside. He's going to take over that 10th position. So Horn up into the top 10, up 8 spots from where he started. Going to set his sights on the 14 of Mark Dumont. A little further up, we see Adam Thompson. As Kenneth Byers right there on the back bumper. Ooh, a little contact with the outside wall. Byers running just a little bit higher, trying to get a little better run here off the corner. They're catching the 23 of John Smith, who runs in the 4th position. Byers going to look up to the high side here as they come off of turn number 2. And the field really broken up into 3 distinct groups. You've got your front 6 who are kind of spread out a little bit up at the front. You've got a couple cars, the 8, the 9, the 14, the 99, 71. And that's a gap back to the 60 of Mike Leftwich. And then the 24 of McMahon running by himself. And then a complete gaggle of cars in the back. We'll take a look from the iRacing blimp here, see what I mean. Jennings all out in front by himself. Christopher Simon starting to run down the 13 of Chris Leftwich. Little group of cars back here. We go back to Mike Leftwich running all by himself here. A little further back to Justin McMahon. And then we've got this gaggle of cars back here running back. Starting with, looks like Matthew Escala in the 13th position. All the way back to Adam Weichel back in 21st. So this is where the Hornets' nest is right now, this back group. You see Jason Ross trying to work his way back through the field after that spin that he went through. Ooh, one car up into the outside wall. That looked like the 4 Bill Gentry. Here comes the 175 working the high side. That's Ricky Hudges. Those two already made some contact here tonight. Now they're back nose to tail as they go down into turn number 1. Meanwhile, up front, we see Steve Gerber. Got Jamie Horner right behind him. Horner continuing to move forward. Already up 10 spots, trying to make that 11. As the caution comes out, looks for it is for the 4 of Bill Gentry, who's now on pit road, and that is going to bring up another wreckage rewind as we take a look to see what happened to the driver of the Ford. Ooh. Excuse me. So looks like he just got loose there all by himself. We'll rewind this and try to see if we can see exactly what happened here. Looks like he got, I don't know if he made some contact with somebody. Well, it looks like he just got crossed up here off of turn number 2. We talked about that going to be a trouble spot here tonight. Car just kind of snaps on him. He turns it back to the right to try to correct it, overcorrects it a little bit, comes right across the track into the outside wall right in front of Jason Ross. Makes contact with the 117 and fortunately just looks like the single car incident as everybody makes their way down on the pit road. I don't think anybody stayed out on the racetrack. The 31 of Eric Warman did. Drivers are down and away. Jamie Horn going to gain a ton of spots on pit road. I think Jennings is going to get off pit road first. Eric Warman now does come down pit road, so he will be on the same pit cycle. Chris Leftwich comes off second. Christopher Simon in third. John Smith and Ken Byers, your top 5. Adam Thompson in 6th. Jamie Horn thought he was going to gain a bunch of spots, but he comes off pit road in 7th. Steve Gerber, Steven Bonomo, and Mark Dumont, your top 10. Dr. Jennings says he's going to take the outside here on this restart. It's kind of been the trend with him today. He's going to put Christopher Leftwich to his inside. As the lights on the pace car are off, we're going to re-rack them, restack them, and get ready to go back green flag racing here from Richmond International Raceway. So Jonathan Jennings trying to get a little bit of warmth in those tires here before we go back green flag. Pace car gets ready to take that hard left-hand turn down on the pit road. Into the Geico restart zone. Green flag back in the air. Good jump for Jennings as they make their way down to the stripe and into turn number 1. John Smith on the outside, going to yield that position to the 21 of Christopher Simon. Ken Byers down to the inside of Adam Thompson, trying to take over that 5th spot. He will indeed take over that fifth spot as Jamie Horn now up in the 7th. He's making a march through the field as the 117 has some issues. Loops it around off of turn at number 4, gets it fired, gets it going back in the right direction. And we stay green. We'll see what happened to the 117 here down into the corner. Looks like I don't know if there was any contact there. Looks like he might have just lost that zone. Stayed down off the racing surface, so that is why we stayed green. See this battle here between Mark Dumont and Matthew Estrella. Estrella trying to use the high side here. We'll take over that spot, and Jason Ross will follow through and move Mark Dumont back into the 13th position. Meanwhile, Kenneth Byers trying to make a move here on the 23 of John Smith. Byers down to the inside. Trying to make that move stick. Right behind, we see Adam Thompson and Jamie Horn battling it out as well. Jennings just went the fastest lap of the race with a 22:02. Out in clean air, making the best of the clean air while he can. Fortunately, he hasn't had to deal with much lap traffic. As Ken Byers takes another look down to the inside of John Smith. And right behind, Jamie Horn thought about trying to make a move down underneath the 71, but was not able to make that happen. As Adam Weichel will have some issues. He's now on pit road. And it looks like he is retired from the race. So now we have 3 cars that have retired. 17 of Weichel, the 4 of Bill Gentry, and the 81 of Chuck Cobb. Oh, if we got a little break in the action here, why don't we turn up the volume a little bit with a little thing I like to call pump up the intensity. Great race in there. Great sights and sounds here from Richmond Speedway. As Jamie Horn continues his march almost up onto the podium here, up into the 4th position, up 14 spots from where he started. We are just a handful of laps away from the halfway stage. Jonathan Jennings out in front has a commanding 1.1 second lead. Chris Leftwich starting to eat into that lead just a little bit. Oh, as I say that, he gets really sideways off the corner. And that allows Jamie Horn and Christopher Simon to come right up to that 13. He loses a ton of time off Jonathan Jennings. Horns looks like he wanted to get a twofer there as he got down underneath and around Christopher Simon. And Jamie Horn wants one more position before the stage break. We are the last lap of the stage. Jamie Horn's going to move himself up into the 2nd position around Chris Leftwich. Here comes Christopher Simon now to the outside, trying to take over the 3rd spot. They battle side by side into the corner. Ken Byers right in this mix as well. Jonathan Jennings going to win the stage. Jamie Horn 2nd, Chris Leftwich 3rd, Christopher Simon 4th, Ken Byers 5th, John Smith in 6th, Adam Thompson, Justin McMahon, Steve Gerber, and Steven Bonomo will round out your top 10 in the stage. As Jennings continues to be out front and leading since we just pit not too long ago. I don't see anybody making their way down pit road anytime soon. I imagine they'll probably come down maybe between laps 70 and 80. Trying to stretch this one out a little bit longer, but not too long, where those tires don't come in, as Chris Leftwich now struggling. Starting to fall backwards into 4th. He's side by side with Kenneth Byers for the 5th spot. Leftwich, though, fighting hard up on that high side. Adam Thompson and John Smith right in this mix as well. So 4 cars under a blanket right now, as Leftwich now able to clear the 99. Starts to pull back away as Adam Thompson looks down under John Smith. Oh, gets loose up in this. He said he locked him up and went right up into John Smith. That allows Justin McMahon to try to get around the 71 on the low side. A little too much brake, trying to be aggressive. Washed right up into the side of John Smith. Fortunately, neither driver with any significant damage. Both able to carry on without losing a spot. A little further back, we see Steve Bonomo and Steve Gerber trying to battle it out back here. Chris Leftwich and Kenneth Byers battling again. Leftwich pinches down off of the corner. Oh, you see the 99 get a little loose there off the corner as well. Leftwich able to get back out in front. Meanwhile, Steve Gerber and Steve Bonomo still battling it out back here. Bonomo works at high lane. He's holding on that high lane for the moment. Best battle on the racetrack right now is the battle for 9th and 10th. Driver on pit road. That is the 33 of Kevin Brown. I think this is his final pit stop of the race. So a little bit earlier than I thought we were going to be. A little bit earlier than I was expecting drivers to come down pit road. I figured somewhere between 70 and 75. Eric Warman now down on pit road as well. We hear the 20 will be coming down this time as well. There's Michael Dow making his way onto pit road. Jonathan Jennings still out in front. Adam Thompson, John Smith, and Justin McMahon in a heated battle here as John Smith with that damage to the right side. I'm sorry, damage to the left side. You see the damage to the left front. That came from the contact with the 71. The 71 of Thompson forces McMahon up into the outside wall, pinches him up there. Chris Leftwich down on pit road now. One of our leaders down onto pit road. McMahon gets around Thompson. Sets his sights on the 23 of John Smith. He'll work down to the inside. Looks like he's easily going to take this spot away. Chris Leftwich, left sides are up in the air. Packing that car full of fuel. Oh, maybe, I think he sped coming down on the pit road. No, he did not. He's just trying to pack it full of fuel. He is down and away. 20-second pit stop for him. He's going to lose a lap here to Jonathan Jennings. See, Jamie Horn says he's going to be coming down pit road this time. Adam Thompson also down on the pit road. And Chris Leftwich using up some tire now, trying to run down that 25 to try to get back onto the lead lap. However, if you're the 13, you don't want to burn up too much tire here trying to get back on the lead lap. As you know, that 25 is going to have much fresher tires when he makes his way off of pit road. Here comes the 24, Justin McMahon on pit road. Jason Ross also down on pit road. Jonathan Jennings makes his way down onto pit road. We saw Christopher Simon going to be pitting here as well. That's going to give the lead of the race to the 99 of Ken Byers. More drivers on pit road here. Steven Bonomo making his way down to his pit stall. John Smith in his stall. Christopher Simon. Jennings just finishing up his pit stop. 14.88 down and away. Second place, Matthew Escala. Hudge is going to be coming down pit road here, as well as the 158. We are coming to 30 laps to go. Make that 29 laps to go. Ken Byers still out in the lead over Steve Gerber, Mark Dumont, Mike Leftwich. Looks like they might be trying to catch a caution here. So a couple cautions early in the race. We've had a pretty good green flag run since then. Just 4 cars left to pit. And those are the 4 cars that are still on the lead lap. I know you can't hear the radio. We got the radio keyed up on the screen when they do call out, when they'll be pitting next, as Jonathan Jennings about to get his lap back here as he's running down the 99 of Kenneth Byers pretty quickly. You see Jonathan Jennings going to get back onto the lead lap. And there's the 33 of Kevin Brown going to get one of his laps back as well. So those 4 drivers I just mentioned, actually 3 drivers now, as Mike Leftwich has made his way down onto pit road. So 3 drivers left to pit. Ken Byers, Steve Gerber, Mark Dumont, all left to pit here, as we are coming to 25 laps to go. I don't think Ken Byers is trying to save any fuel here. Sounds like he is really easy on the throttle there, so maybe he is trying to save a little bit of fuel. Not shutting the car off or clutching it like we hear some drivers when they try to save fuel, but definitely running a little bit softer on the throttle. But those new tires are definitely helping Jonathan Jennings, as Jennings is just coming across the stripe now as the 99 just makes his way through turns 3 and 4. So Jennings currently running 22 threes to Ken's 23 fours. So that gap back is about 25 seconds, as here comes Byers down onto pit road. Just going to give the lead of the race to the 8 of Steve Gerber. Mark Dumont right behind as well, has not pit yet. So last 2 drivers of pit will be here on the screen. The 8 Steve Gerber, the 114 of Mark Dumont right behind. Are they going to try to stretch it just a little bit further, see if maybe they can catch a caution here and put themselves on the same strategy as the leaders? When Gerber crosses the line this time, we'll have just 20 laps to go here from Richmond. And next week we move on to the old Atlanta Motor Speedway, not the new Super Speedway variation, but the older version. And Jonathan Jennings is coming. He is just 6 seconds behind Steve Gerber and Mark Dumont. You can see Jennings just off a turn at number 2. Steve Gerber just coming across the stripe. And Jennings is across the stripe, so that's the interval between the 2. Gerber's going to be pitting this time by. That's going to give the lead of the race to the 14 of Mark Dumont. Now, how much further can Dumont go? Because he's got Jonathan Jennings about 2.5 seconds behind. You'll see that 25 come into the picture here in just a moment. That's how fast that 25 is moving. Turn number 2, you'll see there's that red machine. 2 cars behind the 14, coming in a hurry, just 1 second back. How much fuel does Dumont have? How much is he saving? As you see the 25 of Jonathan Jennings right there behind. Jennings going to make easy work of Mark Dumont, who's on older tires. Double Zero is currently a lap down, so he is not going to be for position. So Mark Dumont currently sitting in the second position with 15 laps to go. But I don't believe he's going to be able to make it to the end. Driver who can make it to the end and is still putting down some great lap times. That is the 98 of Jamie Horn, who sits back in the second position. A little battle back here. This is a battle for the 11th position between Eric Warman and Matthew Escalera. Side by side down into turn number 3, and the 31 of Warman drives way up the track, almost comes across the nose of Ricky Hudges. They are right in front of the leaders. We see Jonathan Jennings right there. Ooh, Warman gets up in the outside wall as the 175 of Hudges got really loose. That was a moment there for Jennings. Battle between teammates here as Christopher Simon tries to get around Chris Leftwich. Leftwich up on the high side. He's going to have a little bit of an advantage here. Jennings working down underneath the 175 of Hudges. That puts just 11 cars on the lead lap. 10 laps to go, coming to 9 to go when we cross the line this time. Jonathan Jennings lead now 5.7 seconds over second place Mark Dumont, who is still out on the racetrack, but about to lose second place to the 98 of Jamie Horn. You see the 8 of Steve Gerber, who is on fresher tires. Will work down underneath Jamie Horn. Now Dumont in the third position with 8 seconds left, has 8 laps left, has the 71 of Adam Thompson coming as Mark Dumont just said on the radio he is coming down pit road this time. There he does, peels down on the pit road with 7 laps to go. As Jonathan Jennings continues to march out front. Jonathan Jennings looking for his 4th win of the season, trying to go back to back to back. As he comes off of turn number 4, we have 5 laps to go. Jamie Horn currently 7 seconds behind Jonathan Jennings. The only thing that could bring him close right now would be a caution. Both drivers on pretty even tires, as Jennings was on pit road on 68. Horn was on pit road on 66, same with Thompson on 66. As Jonathan Jennings works on the lap traffic, this is the 158 of Matthew Escalera. And that would put just 9 cars on the lead lap as he's able to get around Matthew here. Just 2 laps to go here for for Jonathan Jennings. Down into turn at number 1. Christopher Simon, Ken Byers going at it here. This is a battle for the 5th position. Simon working that high side right now, trying to get around the 99. And Jonathan Jennings takes the white flag. 1 lap to go. We've got a crash in turn number 1. Looks like the 00 has gone. I'm sorry, that's turn number 3. The 00 has gone around. Now he gets fired and away as here comes Jennings off of turn number 4 and to the stripe. And Jonathan Jennings is going to win here tonight from Richmond. Jamie Horn's going to come home in 2nd. Here comes Adam Thompson in 3rd. Justin McMahon with a solid 4th place finish. And Ken Byers going to take over that final top 5 position. Let's take a look here to see what happened to Ross here. Him and Mike Dumont looks like had a little tangle here down into turn number 3. Oh, just some contact between the two, and white flag was already out, so the caution would not come out. That was pretty much right in front of the leaders there. Fortunately, nobody else involved. As Jonathan Jennings celebrates his victory here on the front stretch. He does his traditional celebration of trying to burn it down as far as he can before he either spins out or the engine pops. Spins out there at the end of pit road. Now we will take a look at our results. Again, Jonathan Jennings getting the win here tonight from Richmond Raceway. Jamie Horn comes home in 2nd. Adam Thompson, Justin McMahon, and Ken Byers round out your top 5. Christopher Simon comes home in 6th. Chris Leftwich falls back to 7th. John Smith, Stephen Bonomo, and Matthew Escalera round out your top 10. 11th was Ricky Hudges, followed by Eric Warman back in 12th. Steve Gerber brings it home in 13th. Mike Leftwich 14th. Kevin Brown in 15th. Jason Ross, who spun out there on the last lap, comes home 16th. Michael Dow in 17th. Mark Dumont back in the 18th position. And 19th was Adam Weichel, Richard Leclerc, Bill Gentry, Gary Amio, and Chuck Cobb round out the field here tonight from Richmond Raceway as we get ready to talk to our top 3 here tonight. Starting with we'll wait till everybody gets in the waiting room here. Of course, I want to thank everybody for joining us. Again, don't forget to check out our great partners, including your series sponsor, Trackside NASCAR Outlet, our authorized Lionel dealer with a full line of Diecast, including Cup, Xfinity, truck, driver apparel, hats, and jackets. Stop by their store, follow them on Facebook, and check out their website at www.tracksidenascaroutlet.com. Of course, our race tonight was brought to you by MARRS Properties, who offers vacation house getaways in North Carolina within an hour from the ocean. Call 817-705-4108 and speak to Shane directly about your North Carolina getaway. Of course, can't forget about our other great partners, including Group 6, The Butt Kicker, and our website over at IntensityRacing.com. Now let's talk to our top 3, starting with your 3rd place finisher, Adam Thompson. Adam, you got Josh up in the booth. Got a copy?
Hey, Josh, how you doing?
Man, I'm doing well. Look, you getting a top 3 here tonight. A tough, hard-fought top 3 tonight. It seemed like the track was really slick out there as the tires wore off. A lot of looking like more take than give out there tonight, but managed to keep the car pretty clean and come home top 3. Talk through your race there and what you're able to do to get yourself up into the top 3 tonight.
Yeah, man, well, as you know, these cars are so rough on the right rear, so in the front right, to be honest. So I started the race just babying it. I was going to let whoever by, let them burn their tires down, and then we got that caution, I think it was like lap 24, and that kind of threw a wrench in things. You know, it was before he really wanted tires, but then this league, you can't trust it because it often goes green. So it's like you had to take the tires. So we took them. It worked out. I don't know. I think I just laid back too long in the beginning, but it worked out for a top 3 anyway.
For sure. I know you had a little moment there at one point, locked up the brakes, get into the corner, made a little contact with John Smith. It seemed like you just had to have that fine line between too much brake and not enough brake to try to get these cars rotated. Was that kind of what happened there? Just a little too
Yeah.
much brake in the corner?
Well, yeah, a combo, and we were on a fairly long run when that happened, so my front right was gone. So yeah, 2 things. I locked him up, and then with that front right being worn out, it just wasn't gripping, and yeah, I slid right up into him. Just you're racing hard, and when you're on the bottom, I was trying to make that pass on the bottom, and I just missed my braking zone. But yeah, the front rights were wearing pretty good. It actually that's what I struggled with the most towards the end, was being tight, center off, versus I could manage the loose off. That was fine, but it was the tightness that was killing me.
Regardless, able to bring yourself home here tonight, top 3. A great run for you. Fortunately, that didn't hurt either one of you guys' races, really. So, great run for you. So, next week we move on to Atlanta Motor Speedway. How do you like your chances there?
I don't know. I'm kind of new with this car, so we'll see. It's been going well. You just, man, you got to baby this car. If you can figure that out and save tires the best, you'll be up front for sure at the end. But thanks to you guys at Intensity for doing this, and Doghouse for putting on or putting the league together. There's so much behind the scenes that goes on between you guys, and appreciate all the hard work, and hope to see you next week.
Awesome, man. Well, stealing my thunder, asking who you want to thank, but great run for you here tonight. Good luck next week in Atlanta, and hopefully we'll talk to you again soon.
Yeah, well, and I do want to say congrats to Jonathan on the win and Jamie on P2. And yep, we'll talk to you next week, brother.
Have a great night.
You too.
That was your 3rd place finisher, Adam Thompson. Let's bring in your 2nd place finisher here tonight, Jamie Horn, who definitely had the fastest car of the night, just was not able to bring it home and the number 1 position. But Jamie, you got Josh up in the booth?
Yes, sir.
Man, started in the rear, drove yourself through the field, made some great moves, just a little short there at the end. Was there anything you could have done differently maybe to get up there and challenge Jonathan here tonight?
Nah, I don't think so. I mean, maybe if we had a caution when we had, fresh tires just pit, might could have hung with him for a little bit. But I was out of town last week, and I didn't have any practice, so I didn't have any expectations for tonight. So finishing second definitely exceeded where I thought I'd be.
Yeah, up 16 spots from where you started. Definitely put yourself in a good position here tonight. I know you said, barring a caution, you didn't really have anything for Jonathan, but you had those cautions there early in the race before the stage, and then it kind of went green flag for about 65 laps or so. Did that kind of catch you off guard, that, not having a caution there at the end late, and were you hoping for one to kind of bunch the field up and give yourself a chance?
That could go 2 ways, right? I mean, it could have helped and got us all back together, and I wasn't trying to run a 3 or 4 second lead down from Jonathan, or we could have all bunched back up on the start, and I could have got taken out on a restart. So it's one of those that I'm glad it went caution free and finished how it did, and it would have been more interesting, and it would have helped me definitely cut that gap down. But I don't know if I would have had anything or not. Honestly, it was, like I said, it was one of those tracks I hadn't practiced, and I didn't have any high hopes of a good finish, and ended up finishing second. So, hey, I'll take that.
Absolutely. Well, next week we move on to your home track down in Atlanta next week, the old Atlanta. How do you like your chances there?
You'll probably see me in the turn 4 wall.
That's honesty right there.
I mean, maybe I don't know. I've only run it once, and I didn't have the best of luck. It wasn't in this car. It was in the next gen. So if I struggled in that car there, I'm probably really going to struggle in this one. But I don't know. We'll see. I'll do some practice and see where we're at.
Well, good luck next week in Atlanta. Hopefully we'll talk to you again soon. But before we do and let you go, anyone you want to thank, any shots you got to give here tonight?
Shout out for you putting on the broadcast each week. Shout out to all our sponsors, Trackside NASCAR Outlet for being the series sponsor. Shout out to teammates and everything they do to get us prepared each week, and congrats to Jonathan on the win.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congratulations on the awesome P2 here tonight. Good luck next week, and hopefully we'll talk to you again soon.
Yes, sir. Have a good night.
You as well. That was your second place finisher, Jamie Horn. Let's bring in your winner here tonight, making it 3 in a row. Your points leader, Jonathan Jennings. Jonathan, you got Josh up to booth. Got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Man, a great run for you here tonight. Race started off a little shaky. Had a bunch of cautions there to start the race, but then had that long green flag run at the end, which I know really helped you out because you are one who's able to save the tires and get that lead out there. Although at the end there, we saw a little bit of lap traffic causing some trouble. Did especially coming off of turn 4 there, you had one spun around there coming to the white flag. That concern you at all, knowing the trouble is lurking right around the corner there?
No, I seen it. And I seen the way he was going. As long as he kept his trajectory, I was fine with. I was just trying to finish off the. But I wasn't trying to pass the lap car there. I told him I was just going to ride behind him. Sorry for the background noise.
No, you're good, man. But yeah, great job. Another 3 in a row win. You had Chris Leftwich for a little while running there, right there in your tire tracks, and he kind of fell off a little bit. What were you doing a little bit different? It looked like you were running a little bit different line, maybe kind of arcing it a little bit more going into the corner. Was that something you doing just try to save tire, or was it something that was just a little bit quicker here tonight?
I'm not trying to get a straighter run off the corner so I didn't spin the rear tires. We were lighting them up if we just wrapped the bottom. And I was just trying to get a straighter shot down the straightaway, and that kind of helped me.
Yeah, we definitely saw a lot of people lighting up those tires, and that's the theme that we've heard so far tonight was just trying to keep the tires on the cars tonight. These high horsepower cars definitely want to spin those rear tires, and you were able to manage and hold on to it. Next week, though, we move on to another slick track, fast track, Atlanta Motor Speedway, the old Atlanta. How do you like your chances at the old Atlanta track?
Oh, I love old Atlanta. Don't think I've been there in this car, but I may have. I can't remember, but yeah, I like old Atlanta, so be a good race.
For sure, another race you're gonna have to manage those tires. Well, again, Jonathan, 3 in a row, impressive run for you. With the competition's been pretty stout this season, so again, congratulations on the win. Before we let you go, anyone you want to thank, any shots you got to give here tonight?
Yeah, you guys for the broadcast. My teammates for all the hard work they put in. It's really showing. And all the series sponsors for helping keep the league going.
Awesome, man. Well, again, congrats on 3 in a row. Good luck next week at Atlanta, and hopefully we'll talk to you again soon.
All right, man. Thank you.
Take care. Have a great night.
You too.
There's your winner, Jonathan Jennings, getting it done here tonight from Richmond Raceway. That's going to do it for us here tonight. Don't forget to tune in next week from Atlanta. Don't forget to check out our great partners down at the link below. You've got the Doghouse Racing League's website at doghouseracingle.com, Trackside NASCAR Outlet at www.tracksidenascaroutlet.com. Don't forget to check out our race sponsor, Shane over at MARRS Properties. If you're looking for a vacation in the Carolinas, give them a call today, 817-705-4108. Of course, our great partner over at Butt Kicker, Group 6, and as well as our website over at intensityracing.com. And that's going to do it for us here tonight. Again, thanks for tuning in, whether you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube, on Kick, or Twitch. Don't forget that like button. Follow, give us a subscribe, and don't forget to tune in anytime we're live here on Intensity Broadcasting. So that's going to do it. And as our boy Atman Weiss would say, over and out.